Hey guys, it's your girl Micaiah, and I'm here today to talk about how I got my real estate license within 21 days. Actually, a little bit under 21 days, just to brag on myself a little bit. So it was actually 20 days exactly, and I'm talking about all the steps. So going to school, taking my final, and then taking my state test. So all within 20 days. So I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about the process, like what my steps were, what are some things that I learned, and kind of just walk you through the whole process. So to begin, just so you guys know, I did get my license in Georgia. So I am a licensed real estate agent in Georgia. The process was very interesting. I kind of knew a few things, going into, trying to go to school and things of that nature, because I had a few friends who are real estate agents in the area, but you really do not know a lot of it until you get into the weeds in the thick of it. So I chose a class that was in person. I also chose a class that was accelerated. So my class was only 2 weeks. We went Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So it was back to back. That's a lot of class, you guys. That's like a full-time job. Think 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a lot of time that you're taking up in your day. And it was really just interesting figuring out that or going back to a class while COVID was happening, like being in person for anything with a group of other people. There were about, I want to say 15, maybe 20 people in my class, which wasn't bad, but we did have another class in the building that was also, students going in real estate, but it wasn't the accelerated one. It's a little bit longer, and there was at least 50 people in their class. So classes are back to session, at least in Georgia. And the funny thing is, well, I don't know how funny it is, I was actually the only one in my class that wore a mask the whole time. I take COVID pretty seriously, not that, other classmates didn't, but it was just very interesting. Again, we're in Georgia, so, But that brings me to my first pro tip. When you're wanting to get your, real estate license as soon as possible and going through the process, I would suggest, honestly, just from, the experience that I've had and listening to my classmates, I would suggest an in-person class, actually. I know there's a lot of real estate schools out here. I know you can do it all online, and that really works with a lot of people's schedules. But if you can take the time and dedicate the time to take it in person, I would definitely suggest it. And here's why. I cannot tell you how many people in my class retook the class. And one of the reasons they retook it was because they had taken it online before. And when you take it online, the teacher's not there in the classroom with you. So if you're struggling, you're more than likely on a Zoom conference call or some other, outlet where you can visually see them. But, they're trying to get through the material. They're not feeling the room and seeing hey, I can tell some people, they may not be raising their hand, but they're not understanding this based off of facial gestures and things of that nature. So we're not really getting that one-on-one attention that you can get if you take an in-person class. Also, just depending on where you go, I do know, online classes can be a lot cheaper, but again, that one-on-one attention is so important. And you can also network with your classmates. All of you guys are there to accomplish the same goal, which is to get your real estate license. And real estate, as you guys are more than aware, is all about networking. It's all about, getting to know more people, getting to know and, meet more clients or potential clients. It's about, meeting other agents and collaborating with other agents. So it was also a networking opportunity. I really got to know my classmates. So those are two reasons why I would say if you can do an in-person class, but honestly, do what's best for you. So on top of that, another thing that I really learned throughout this whole process is you really want to do your research when it comes to schools. So before I even went to a school, I talked to a few, real estate agents who were friends of mine in the Georgia area and asked them what is the school you went to, first of all? And then, of the agents who are in, your brokerage or, agents that are your friends or other agents, what is the common schools you're hearing? So I got top two schools. In my opinion, they were top two schools based off of they kept coming up. Their names kept coming up when I was talking to more real estate agents and people in the industry. So I really did my research. I went on their website. I looked to see who was teaching in the class. I had an awesome teacher. I'm not going to shout out her name, but she was awesome. She was so helpful. She went above and beyond to make sure that, everyone in the class kind of grasped the material. And if we needed to spend extra time on something, she really took that time to spend extra time on it. Even though, keep in mind, I was in a 2-week accelerated course. So we're moving very quickly through that material. But yeah, I would just say do your research. Make sure you know what you're paying. Does your payment include, that school's book? Does your payment include, that school's test? Because a lot of these schools, you have to take the test before you can take the actual state exam. Does it include any additional fees? Like, are there, crash courses? Crash courses is a great, study material for after you take a course, or even maybe during the course that you're doing it. It reviews everything that you're going to learn. It prepares you for the test. So make sure you know what fees are included in the school. Make sure you know who's teaching, like I said. Make sure you know if there's other administrative staff in that school that can help with certain things. I know in Georgia, there's certain documents that we had to get notarized and signed, and my school actually had a notary there, so it was great. I didn't have to go out and pay additional fee for that. Even though notarizing our notary is not very expensive, but still that's an additional fee, and you guys know there's a lot of fees when it comes to real estate. So yeah, definitely do your research when it comes to school, and again, pick the best school for you, whether that be online or in person. Another thing I kind of learned is you will hardly, listen to this, have a life outside of real estate school, or studying for the real estate exam, or real estate in general while you were in school. Again, I did the 2-week accelerated course, but I had a lot of friends that were in the 4-week accelerated course. We were collaborating and studying together between those 2 classes, and even that class, you really didn't have a life after class. Let me tell you what my daily life looked like once I got out of that classroom. So remember, I went to school from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Literally, it took me about 30 minutes to get home from after school. That would be my time to decompress. I would listen to, a podcast that I would like, a YouTube video, something like that, on my way home. And then I would literally do my homework. So yes, my real estate school, and a lot of these real estate schools out there, they actually do have you do homework to make sure that you're grasping the material that is taught in class. I would do my homework, but I would also read for the day ahead, because again, we were going very quickly. So it's I didn't want in classroom to be the first time I'm reviewing that material. So do my homework, which was like a quiz in a sense. I would read for the day ahead, and then I would review my class notes for anything that we went over that week. So it was just a lot, you guys. Think about all of that in one night. So I would literally get home, do all of that back to back, and then it would already be 10 o'clock. It's already 10 o'clock. I have to go to class at 8 a.m. in the morning the next day. At that point, I needed to get some sleep, or, at least start settling down to get sleep, because I had to get up early to get to class. So yeah, my week, my husband can attest to this. It was very just back to back to back. I was not doing anything outside of real estate school. So I will definitely salute all of, those people who have full-time jobs while they're pursuing real estate, parents, people who are caretakers, just any other, life priorities that you have going on while you're doing this. I definitely salute you guys. But definitely, if you're thinking about pursuing real estate and you're wanting to do the same thing as me, which is, go back to back to back to make sure that you pass it on the first time and it's not a long window, you definitely have to commit that time. So you definitely have to, if there's other priorities that you feel like you can take a break from, definitely do that. I actually had a person that sat next to me in class. He was able to get 2 weeks off of work, so he took 2 weeks of vacation to pursue this. So that's how serious it is, you guys. You definitely have to have the time to do that. So those are just some of the tips that I use. I'm definitely gonna be doing another video where I actually give you guys 5 specific tips on how to pass the real estate exam the first try, because like I said before, I did everything the first try. I did it all within under 20 days. It was a lot, you guys, but it's definitely possible. I'm not the only one that's ever done it, obviously. I know a few agents in Georgia has done it, and I know agents, probably all over the world, all over the US who have done it as well. But you just have to commit time. So definitely check out that future video, and definitely continue to check out this channel, because we're gonna have a lot of videos when it comes to real estate. I'm definitely willing to share my journey as we go along. I'm actually in the process of speaking to some brokers and finalizing that, so you'll definitely have a few other videos coming up very soon. But thank you guys so much for watching. Just to support, I hope that you're able to, subscribe, like, and continue to support the videos. And I'll see you guys next time.